You ever get a letter so ridiculous, so dripping in manufactured authority, you almost want to frame it and hang it in the garage? That was me Friday morning holding this thick envelope with my name scrawled on the front, like a ransom note from a bad TV drama. No return address. No seal, just one page. Times New Roman, some boilerplate about Blue Oak Drive residents needing to stay indoors after 8 p.m. for the safety and comfort of our incoming Community Development Council guests. No law cited, no signature, just a passive-aggressive attempt at power, and let me tell you, it was hilarious, except you could feel the malice right between the lines. I snapped a photo and sent it straight to Sarah, my lawyer, my friend, and a woman who knows the difference between a prank and a threat. Her reply was quick, "No teeth, but document everything. If they try anything cute, call me." That's the kind of backup you want. See, my place sits right where the HOA border just fizzles out. Technically, I'm not under their thumb. Never signed their rules, never paid a dime, never got those glossy newsletters with lectures about grass height and mailbox color. My house, my rules, and that makes me stick out like a busted tooth in their tidy little smile. You should see my yard brick's wild cactus, the frames of old motorcycles, and 2 security cameras streaming nonstop to the cloud. I'd never had trouble before, but this curfew thing, that was new. So that night, while the sun dipped down and the world turned copper, I swapped fresh memory cards into the cams, double-checked the sensors, and waited. Not scared, curious. If they wanted a reaction, fine, I'd give them one. Sure enough, just after 8:45, I'm out by the gate boots, crunching gravel, old flannel wrapped tight, flashlight in hand. Out of the shadows at the edge of the streetlight, 2 silhouettes, big guys, dark jackets, no badges, no reflective anything, just standing there. When I get to the gate, one growls, "You were warned." His buddy lunges, grabbing for my arm. Thing is, you spend a few years dealing with rowdy drunks in bad neighborhoods, you learn a few moves. I twisted, brought his wrist down hard, slammed him on the concrete. The second one comes at me with fists, so I give him a kick elbow and suddenly he's coughing up all the air in his lungs. "This is assault on private property," I said, pulling my phone voice steady as a judge, and it's all on camera, on. The first guy scrambles and limps away. The second one just slumps by my trash bins, wheezing. I call 911. 2 men just assaulted me. One fled, one still here. I have video from 2 angles, calm as can be. The cops roll up fast, and right behind them, in a beige Mercedes, comes the queen herself. Karen Livingston, the HOA president, striding across the yard like she owns the zip code, screaming about how I staged this and lured her team into a fight. The officer, to his credit, tells her to back off. They watch the video, see the whole thing play out, and before long, they find the first guy not far away, shoulder-hanging limp backpack full of zip ties and unregistered radios. Next morning, I'm running on 2 hours of sleep and a full tank of rage, organizing the video files, backing everything up, old habits, you know. That's when the cop from last night shows up with the incident report. The 2 guys are in custody now, one in the hospital, one in county lockup. No security license, no local ties. One's from Nevada with a record for aggravated battery. These weren't security guards, they were muscle for hire. I text Sarah, imported goons, Nevada plates, no license, want blood or fire. She answers both in headlines. Not even noon, and Karen's back, sunglasses, scarf attitude turned up to 11. She's yelling before her heels even hit my driveway, accusing me of escalating things, claiming those guys were just protective detail for council guests. I say, "They assaulted me and I've got 6 camera angles. You're lucky I didn't use pepper spray." She tries to hand wave it away. "We'll handle it internally." I laughed. Internally with zip ties and ski masks. Someone's going to jail. She stalks off, phone in hand, looking like she's calling for an airstrike. Then it gets weird. A voicemail from some assistant deputy at the mayor's office. All smooth words and "hope you're recovering well," trying to spin it as unfortunate security mishaps during stakeholder meetings. And surprise, asking me not to go public. I forward that to Sarah, and within an hour she's filing with the district attorney. Now it's criminal. And here's where it twists. I review my security footage and realize one of the thugs strolled right into Karen's backyard half an hour before the assault. This was no random act, it was planned. That night, Charles from down the block, quiet guy, always walking his dog, shows up looking like he's about to confess to a bank robbery. He hands me a flash drive. I was at the HOA meeting. They were planning something. I record everything just in case. The file's grainy but clear, Karen at the head of the table, wine in hand, plotting the plan to make sure he knows this isn't his street anymore. That was it, hard proof of a conspiracy. By Monday, Sarah files motions, assault, conspiracy, intimidation, the works. I'm signing affidavits at the courthouse, watching neighbors peek out from behind their curtains, grateful someone's finally pushing back. But now the story is viral. The video hits the local news, then the internet. And before I can finish my coffee, I'm getting interview requests, messages from strangers, even a retired judge chiming in online masterclass and dismantling suburban tyranny. The HOA, though, they're still digging themselves deeper. Sarah uncovers that their security firm is just a Nevada shell company, no employees, no insurance, just a front for off-the-books intimidation. Digging through city records, I stumble on something nastier. A 2-year-old request to expand the HOA boundary to include my property, forged signatures and all. My name in block letters, outdated address, no witness, no timestamp. Sarah's eyes go cold. They forged the compliance forms. They faked your signature. Karen hadn't just bent the law, she'd bulldozed right through it. The next move, a counterattack. Josh, an old buddy from my force days, rolls in with a fake lease, officially making him my tenant. Within hours, the HOA is taping violation notices to my mailbox, losing their minds over my unapproved tenancy. Josh, being a menace, parks himself on the lawn, blasting bluegrass, grilling hot dogs, waving at every car. Karen's meltdown is legendary threats, photos, I'm calling the county. Which code, Josh asks, grinning. Because I read the laws. Your HOA isn't in them. The real kicker, at 2:30 a.m., we catch someone on the camera trying to plant a bag of white powder in my trash. Police come watch the tape, shake their heads. We post a redacted version online. 300,000 views by sunrise, comments pouring in from ex-HOA victims and lawyers, the whole country watching. The pressure's on now. Greg, the quiet board member, flips, brings emails, audio files, voice memos. I don't want to go down with her, he says, sweating bullets. But the desperate always get sloppier. Monday morning, another attempt, this time a utility knife cache and unmarked pills stashed in my yard waste. Cameras catch it all. The vehicle's registered to Karen's husband's friend. Local news explodes, HOA caught in evidence planting scandal. The DA raids the HOA office, burner phones, checklists, notes about using junkies, plus weapons angle if PR fails. Karen's empire collapses. Trial comes fast, the room packed with neighbors and press. Sarah's ready for war, every detail lined up. The jury watches the footage, listens to Greg's testimony, hears Karen plotting on tape. Her lawyer tries to call it sarcasm, but Sarah shuts that down with another audio clip. Smear him. Say he's unstable. Verdict guilty. Karen's banned from ever serving on an HOA board again. The board is dissolved, the thugs cop to charges, and I get a check for $110,000 in damages. But the real win. During discovery, I found out Karen's crew secretly bought a strip of land to expand their HOA. That land went up for auction when their shell company folded. I bought it quietly, cash. When the new board, run by volunteers this time, called their first meeting, I walked in, announced, as owner of Parcel 47A, I'd like to permanently remove it from HOA control and turn it into a public garden. Unanimous applause. Karen moved out within weeks. Spring came, and so did the wildflowers. I built a few benches, burned a sign that reads, private property, HOA not applicable. Trespassing may result in extreme embarrassment. We threw a cookout, neighbors laughing for the first time in months. And you know what? The silence was the sweetest part. A radio host asked me what I'd tell others stuck in HOA hell. I told him if your HOA thinks their newsletter outranks the law, they're about to learn otherwise. And don't forget to name your wrench after your best friend, just in case. Now let's hear it. Where do you draw the line between order and overreach? Have you ever taken on an HOA? Or would you rather keep your head down, drop your stories below? Because in this neighborhood, justice isn't just a word on a letterhead. It's a wild garden that bites back.